I'm Chad.
I'm Dad. No, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be Dad first.
Oh yeah, you're Dad.
I'm Dad.
I'm Chad, and this is our channel. Today, guys, we are installing the radio mount plates and throttle bracket, and it doesn't say how far to trim these. It just says trim to clear the fuselage tube. So I didn't know if they meant to U-shape it or what. So I called up Randy, and because they make these things really long, and I asked him why they did that, and he said that they actually use these on a Coyote as well. So they're about, cut some out of there, they're about that long. So I was kind of worried. I was like, man, there sure is a lot of extra. So called him up, and yeah, so that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to trim it. So go ahead and get your panel mounting surround installed, and then I Clecoed this guy in and put a piece of tape back here to kind of hold him up. And then that guy will just go in there, and it's going to rivet. You'll drill holes through the panel, and it will rivet to the panel here, I think with two rivets here. So you want to make it flush, and to do that you'll need the boot cowling on to make sure this is straight. So that's what we're doing today. We're getting these guys mounted, and then we're going to drill our panel to make sure the holes will be there after it gets back from powder coat. I don't want to be drilling on it after it's powder coated. Yeah, so we'll show you guys the next step as soon as we find the parts. All right, so there's the finished product. We're about to put the panel on and drill the holes for it. But like I was saying earlier, these pieces are cut back. And then what we did is we riveted here, like I said earlier, then we had a piece of tape in the middle holding it level. And then we set these guys up here. I drilled, or I marked a hole here, went and drilled them, riveted them, not riveted, but Clecoed them both on, this end and this end. And then I drilled a hole out of the airplane for the idle clamp, went ahead and tightened it down. And then I pushed it up next to here, saw where I wanted it, made sure everything was level. And like I said, I tightened it down. That way I knew where it was going to be after it was tightened down, because sometimes you'll drill it, tighten it down, you'll have these rivet holes done, tighten everything down, and then it'll get it in a bind because you didn't tighten it down first to see where this was going to land in relation to this. And then I marked, once I got this idle clamp tightened down with this nut right here, I marked this on this piece with a marker, and then took it all back apart, drilled it, riveted, deburred everything, and riveted it, and got it where I want it. So it's loosely in there right now. We can't rivet this part down here yet because then it won't come back out if we need to take it out. But we're going to set the panel in here and mark it, and then go ahead and drill holes on our panel. That way we can get it mailed off to Pacific Coast Aviation. So yeah, I hate idle clamps. I hope these are pretty close to the last ones that we ever have to do. So what we did is we went ahead and drilled these. I measured them out to where I wanted them, and then we drilled them with number 40. And I used a piece of tape to get this piece level. Well, you know, to get the length between the two, to get these parallel with each other. That one and that one. So once those were parallel, we screwed the panel on, and then I drilled this first, and then I made my mark onto the panel and drilled the panel with the number 40 off of the airplane. And then we set it back up, and now we're about to match drill those with a number 30. Basically just get them lined up and drill them with a number 30. And this, I noticed, this panel is pre-cut from Rands, and so is this piece right here. And all I did was add the nut plate here, and that does not line up. So I made a mark from the inside, and you can see where I scribed it. That's where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to have to TIG weld this hole up and fill it, grind it down, and then re-drill so that the hole lines up. You can see how it does not line up. That is a 3/32 rivet to hold the nut plate. So that hole needs to move up in order for that to fit. So I'm going to call or email Michelle and let her know that that does not line up. Luckily, I can fix it here in the shop since I have the right tools, but a lot of people probably won't be able to do that. So that's something that you guys need to be aware of. It's like that on both sides. So it was just drilled wrong in the CNC machine. But anyway, so now perfect. So other than those two not matching up, that's, now we can send that panel off, well, after I weld it. But I'm betting that GDU 460 ends up covering these up and these up. I'm not sure. But if it does, then I'll have to take a plate and put behind here and then put the rivets closer to hold this. This is where you're going to be pushing and pulling your throttle and your mixture, so you want that thing to be sturdy. And it also gives some sturdiness to the panel surround. But, yep, there you go. So weld that up and send that off. They're supposed to be, they mail us off a template Monday or Tuesday, so we should be getting it. We can set it on there and make sure it clears everything, and we don't have to trim out any of the panel bracing surround. But there you go, guys. That's how the panel goes on, or that's how we put it on. Well, there's just some good pictures of how that goes together. Again, those pieces were super long and I was scared to cut them. And I called Randy, and he said yes, cut them, because he uses those in another kit, and that's why they're longer. S7. So
What are you working on?
the co-pilot door. So we marked our center line around the perimeter of the door. It's a half an inch, so you want to go a quarter an inch. We just put little marks, and then we took a straight edge in a line. And this is the aft trim. It gets flush with this top piece, and then you line it up with those marks that you made. And then this bottom piece goes over that, under door trim lower. So it goes just like that. And then this piece goes narrower in the top. Hey guys, thanks for watching another episode of Dad and Chad.
If you like this video, share it with your friends and give us a thumbs up,
And never miss an episode of Dad and Chad by hitting that subscribe button.
because we'll be back next Tuesday with another episode.
Thanks again for watching
Dad?
and Chad.